All right, everyone. Next week on Easter Sunday, we have a special attraction boxing match, Rematch, across the pond from the UK. We have the former Olympic silver medalist Ben Whittaker fighting a rematch versus Liam Cameron. Now, the first fight, we were there live, sitting ringside in Saudi Arabia, and ended with a lot of controversy. Me, personally, sitting there watching it live, it felt like Whittaker was starting to gas, Cameron was starting to put it on him, and he had an out given to him by the referee. They both went over the top of the rope. I thought maybe he did not want to continue, but in the end, Ben Whittaker said he had a foot injury, could not continue, went to the scorecards, ended with a technical draw after 6 rounds. We're now going to get the rematch of this controversial ending, and I just want to get your early thoughts, a little preview of what to expect for this clash across the pond.
No, you set it up perfect. I mean, I couldn't listen. I couldn't agree with you more. We were there ringside. We watched it ourselves. I couldn't agree more. Maybe I'll put it even more clear in my head that Whittaker was about to get stopped. I mean, that's how clear it was. Cameron was fighting a real good, steady, aggressive fight, taking advantage of, first of all, Whittaker not being in these kind of waters before, the deeper waters. He took advantage of that. Cameron's more experienced. He's 34 years old. He's a little more mature, 23-6-1 going in. He took advantage of that. And he took advantage of Whittaker's, some of his technical flaws, pulling straight back, standing straight up. Just technical things that he may have gotten away with and did get away with different level of opponent before he made this step up to Cameron, where, he had enough speed, he had enough, ability where fighters were never able to push him to that place to show his flaws, to exploit those flaws, to expose those flaws. Cameron was able to push past the initial ability of Whittaker and get him to that place. And again, make him do the things that he doesn't do well. Make him make mistakes. And Cameron was definitely 100% was going to get a knockout win. He was going to get a stoppage win. I don't think there was any doubt about it. And then all of a sudden they go up against the ropes. Cameron pushed into him. Whittaker, some people think he pulled him in. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. At the end of the day, they went through the ropes. Cameron got back in. They went through. They fell on the floor. Cameron got back in the ring. Whittaker did not get back in the ring. He said he was injured. Cameron thought he won because you have a certain amount of time to get back in the ring when something happens like that. It has happened in the past. We have had situations like that. And Cameron thought he won because Whittaker did not get back in the ring by within the amount of time that is given in such a situation. But again, Whittaker said that he medically couldn't continue. His leg, whatever, his ankle was hurt. A lot of people questioned that. They didn't think, again, they thought that he found a way out. As you touched on at the beginning, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, here's the rematch. We're going to find out if Whittaker has matured. We're going to find out if Whittaker has improved some of those technical flaws. He's got a new trainer. You couldn't get a better guy. He's got a former world champion now who's a hot trainer, who's got a lot of top fighters. He's got Andy Lee. So if anyone's going to correct those mistakes and help him in those areas, Andy Lee's going to do that. We're going to get a look. I'll say this before I give my feeling about how the fight's going to go or might go. When you have guys that are coming out of the Olympics, that are with a promoter, that are being taken care of, that have talent, that are undefeated, that are being brought up in the right way, in a protected way. Not everyone gets that. Cameron didn't have that. On his way up, but that doesn't mean you can't get there. It's just a little bit of a harder road to go. Like Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard, was an Olympian, great talent, tremendous, gold medalist. He got the benefit of getting a television deal right away, coming out of the pros, out of the amateurs. He got the benefit of having, Mike Trainer as his manager, getting a top promoter, getting Angelo Dundee involved with him as a trainer. He had the advantage of all that because he was the golden boy. He was a guy that was going to be his path because of what I just described, being promoted, coming off the Olympics, the gold medal. And Marvin Hagler, the great Marvin Hagler, he didn't have that. He had to go through a much harder road to get to that place. But he got there. Either way, you could get there. Matter of fact, he never forgot that he had to go through that tough road, Marvin Hagler, because he had resentment later on when he finally fought Sugar Ray Leonard, the golden boy. He had resentment like that. He didn't have that silver spoon. But the reason I bring it up is either way you can get there. That was the route for Cameron. Whittaker was the route a little bit more towards, obviously, the Sugar Ray Leonard. But one thing I've noticed through really the history, the annals of this great sport, when a guy is meant to get somewhere, when a guy is that privileged guy, if you will, that guy that comes out of the amateurs, that guy that's got the promoter, that guy that's got all of those things behind him, when he's that guy, sometimes destiny is kind of in his corner. Fate, whatever you believe, that when he goes through these moments, this journey, I've seen guys, and on their resume, I've seen it with Riddick Bowe on his way up. I've seen it with other guys that wound up getting to that top place. On the way, they had controversial fights, situations maybe similar to this. And it works out. Again, destiny, fate, whatever. It goes in their favor and it saves them. It pulls them out of the fire. It saves them from a loss. Muhammad Ali against against Henry Cooper, the great Englishman, the favorite Englishman, the good left hook that he had. He drops Ali. Undefeated Ali. He staggers back to his corner. Maybe that could be he's not ready to come out the next round. Maybe he's still going to be hurt. And what happens? Angelo Dundee finds a little bit of a hole in the glove. He says, we got to switch gloves. It takes 10 minutes to switch the gloves. Ali completely recovers. He goes out there and stops Henry Cooper on cuts after that. Again, the guys that seem to be destined to, I'm not going to say greatness, but to special things, it seems like things go in their favor in those kind of spots. I felt a little bit that way with Whittaker. Like, things went in his favor. It's not an accident. He's looked out for. Again, destiny's on his side, maybe. In a rematch, usually it goes the way of the guy that has destiny on his side, that has the promoter, has all those things I just described on his side. That's Whittaker. It's going to be the same thing because Cameron, he got a victory stolen from him. I'm not afraid to say that. But it was stolen within the realm of what you're allowed to have stolen in this business. So, and he's not the first to have gone down this road to be disappointed and to have a victory taken from him. At the end of the day, the stars won't line up the same. They won't. They just won't. I know, I've been in this business. They won't. Everything won't be working perfectly like it was for him that night. It was working perfectly for him that night. I give him credit. He was great. He was ready. He was ready. He knew what he was going to do, and he did it. And he knew who he was going to do it against and how he was going to show this guy's shortcomings. And he did. But now I don't see it lining up where he'll be as ready mentally, physically, and Whittaker will be better because he has been through that experience. He will be better. He will be better mentally. He wasn't good mentally. He wasn't strong. He didn't show fortitude. He really did. If it's in this kid, I don't know if it is, but if Andy Lee decided to go train him, I'm going to say it probably is, because Andy Lee has a pretty good eye. Andy Lee is training all the top guys now. He's not going to go and train a guy if he doesn't think he has that. And if he has that, now in this fight, it's going to be brought out. It's going to be brought out from the experience that he just went through and by Andy Lee helping him bring it out. And then at the end of the day, it'll be a whole different kind of fight. A whole different kind of fight. And at the end of the day, it will be Whittaker moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a hell of a breakdown. Great example with Ali touching on being the A side in boxing, right? And sitting there watching it live, I have to agree with your assessment here for this rematch, because it's hard enough the first time for a big underdog, let alone to go in and do it again. Whittaker wasn't comfortable to me right off the rip, and that's how we knew he was in a real fight that night. He's usually showboating and doing his jutterbug. He didn't do any of that. We'll see this time around, like you said, with Andy Lee in the corner, who's doing a great job with Patty Donovan, with Joseph Parker, and hopefully for him, Ben Whittaker next. So we'll get this video up before the fight, and for all the fans out there, let us know, who do you think is going to win this rematch after the first controversial ending?